let's get a little casual conversation going.
Okay. Brain, do you know that there's movies coming out this year?
I've heard about that. I've heard there's movies coming out this year.
Yeah? Are you excited about any of them?
I think a few.
Okay.
Maybe 5 or so.
Maybe 5 of them?
Maybe 5 or so. Which we have right here in these envelopes. If you've seen our last top 5 video, we're doing it the same way. 5 envelopes. We're counting down. We're going to exchange envelopes. Neither of us know each other's picks. This is our top 5 most anticipated movies for 2024 this year.
Yeah.
All right, you ready? You ready for the exchange?
I'm ready. Here we go.
All right.
So we're going to start with number 5 and move up to number 1. And we're going to read each other's. So, Braden, your number 5 pick is...
Go ahead and open yours, too.
Godzilla x Kong: A New Empire.
And yours is Terrifier 3. Okay, I didn't even realize this was coming out.
Yeah, there's a new Terrifier movie coming out. I honestly didn't know it was coming out until like a few days ago.
Yeah.
So, I'm not a huge fan of the Terrifier franchise. I've seen both.
Why is it on your list then?
I've seen both Terrifier 1 and 2. The thing I like about the franchise, it's kind of like trashy horror.
Of course.
It feels nostalgic, even though it's like not even from like that many years ago.
Right. Well, it's kind of like of a different time. Like it's an exploitation movie made nowadays, which, you know, people do whatever with movies nowadays. You can find a niche for everything, but it is sort of a different time.
Yeah. But what hooked me about Terrifier 3 is that it's Christmas time in it. So it's going to be released around Halloween, but the motif is Art the Clown in the Santa Claus costume.
I like
kind
that.
of like the Grinch.
That's campy. I like it.
So it's campy. It's going to be gory. I hope the Terrifier 3 doesn't get as drowned in the lore as Terrifier 2 was. Again, I didn't love Terrifier 2. I didn't even love Terrifier 1. But I'm excited to see what this comes from this year.
Well, that's interesting because I didn't even know it was coming out, but now I'm kind of excited for it because I was a big fan of Terrifier 1 and 2. Is there a trailer for it? Right?
There is a teaser trailer. You just see him dressed as Santa Claus. That's about it.
Okay.
And that will be releasing October 25th of this year. And you chose, you put Godzilla v. Kong 2. Actually, Godzilla x Kong.
New Empire, whatever.
Yeah.
It's Godzilla v. Kong 2. You know, whatever.
Tell me about it.
I'm excited. I'm a big Godzilla fan. I'm not going to lie. The movie doesn't look...
You sure you are?
Yes. I think so.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, it's the latest in the American Godzilla movies. Honestly, probably not even going to be that good. But it's going to be good for me. I just want to see big monsters fight. I'm sure we're going to get that. It looks like Kong has like a son now, or like we're going to see his race. I know there's like a few other like monsters they've sort of like teased. There's one like named like Jeff or some shit like that. I don't know.
What a monster.
Yeah, I know. I'm curious about it. But like honestly, the reason it's at number 5 is I'm hyped for it, but it's just I know it's gonna be just delightful trash. I know I'm not really expecting anything more. Just I'm anticipating a pleasant time. On to number 4.
Your number 4, Braden, is the Backrooms movie.
Yes, and your number 4 is Joker.
Filet à deux.
Is that how you pronounce it?
More like Joker 2, yeah.
Okay, tell me about Joker 2.
Okay, so Joker 2, you get the opportunity to see Lady Gaga put on her Joker face. It's a musical. It's a follow-up to the highest-grossing R-rated movie of all time. I'm also just curious what this movie's going to do culturally. People were like, is Joker a dangerous movie? Yeah,
that was like a thing with the first one. I feel like that died out as soon as it came out, though.
And I'm just interested to see that, like, I feel like the first Joker movie was really for, like, disaffected men, and now we're going to see the flip side of that.
The flip side, I never thought about that,
Yeah, and I'm just curious to see that it's a musical and how that is going to be portrayed.
Right.
It's also an interesting title. Filet à deux, I believe, means like shared madness for two. Okay. So it's kind of, talking about Joker and Harley Quinn. It's not like my most anticipated, pretty low on the list. As you can tell so far, 2 on my list, clown motifs, Terrifier and Joker 2.
I didn't even notice that.
So
the man likes clowns.
I'm curious about it.
Yeah, I'm curious about it too. I mean, I was a pretty big fan of the first Joker. I thought it was a pretty good movie for what it was. And I'm excited to see what they do with the second one with a musical, if anything else. And is Joaquin going to sing in it? Like, are they using his voice? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, I also think the movie, based on some leaked set photos, is going to have their own version of Harvey Dent. So we might even get like Two-Face in the Joker movie.
Ooh, okay. So some more Batman character appearances. And that's coming out
October 4th, 2024.
All right. I chose Backrooms movie.
Yes.
Do you know anything about the Backrooms at all?
I know that it's a creepypasta. Is that the right word for it?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're both up to speed because I don't know too much about it, honestly. That's why it's at number 4. All I know is it's sort of this like short film sort of creepypasta type series that just popped up on YouTube one day, and it's been getting a lot of hype, and it's been, there's countless memes and conversations around it. I've seen the original video. I haven't seen like the other. I know there's like a few other ones and stuff, but I'm so curious to see what they do with like an actual movie, and it's the guy who made the Backrooms. It's not just like, when they made like the Slender Man movie, they just got like a random director and they didn't get the people involved in like creating the idea of Slender Man or anything. But this is like the Backrooms guy, so it's gonna be, it's another YouTuber movie, this will be a second for A24 because they did what was that? Talk to Me this year. Yeah, so it's another YouTuber movie. Curious how that's gonna turn out.
That'll be releasing undetermined.
We don't know
No release date yet.
Yeah, well, when I was looking through, it said at first it said it might come out end of 2023, and then it just said sometime 2024. So maybe not even 2024, but if it comes out, I'm anticipating it.
Cool. Part 3.
All right.
Okay. For number 3.
Yeah, for number 3.
Your most anticipated movie is Maxine.
Yes, and yours is Mickey 17. Mm-hmm. What is that? Oh, Parasite director, it says on the back.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it's from, I don't remember how to say his name, but the director of Parasite. Features Robert Pattinson. I've only seen one still from it. I think it's actually coming out pretty soon. Mm-hmm. I guess it's about, there's this space trip to an ice planet, and they keep having to regenerate and clone this astronaut who's going to be the one who explores it. I think that's who Robert Pattinson's playing. Okay. But apparently his memories get transferred from each clone, but they each being a little different.
All right.
Interesting concept.
Sounds bizarre.
Cool poster.
Right.
I'm interested to see.
Is
I
there
like
a trailer?
Robert Pattinson. Not really. It's just kind of you see Robert Pattinson and then you see the title, and that's what you see from
so just
it.
a little teaser.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. It comes out March 29th.
All right. Okay. I'm curious about that too. I didn't know that was coming out.
Yeah. You picked Maxine.
I picked Maxine. I've seen Pearl. I've seen X. Fun movies. Mm-hmm. Fun movies. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the biggest fan of them necessarily. They kind of have a weird hype around them, where people blow them up to be some of the biggest A24 movies. I saw them and I was like, oh, those are pretty good. I didn't even see the need for a sequel necessarily, but it's crazy how they're doing this back-to-back sequel thing, and just that alone kind of gets me invested in where are we going to take this character next? We've seen Pearl young, and then we see Pearl old, and now we're going to see Maxine old from X, so it's she's doing the old woman makeup again.
I don't think she's old in it.
Is she not old?
No. I think it takes place in Hollywood.
Yes, that's what I've seen from it. But then I've also seen some stills where she's old. Maybe I got this wrong.
No, maybe I got it wrong. I also might be wrong about this. I think Gus Fring might be in this movie.
Oh, really? Giancarlo Esposito?
Giancarlo Esposito.
Well, that interests me even more. But yeah, I honestly don't know where they're going to go from it. I'm just expecting a fun horror movie like X and like Pearl.
Sounds great. And that is going to be released also undetermined.
Also undetermined. Don't know that release
We got
date.
a running theme with you here, Brady.
We do. We're doing number 2.
Okay.
Bernardi, your number 2 is Nosferatu.
Yours is Joker 2.
Joker 2,
we just
yeah.
touched on.
We already talked about Joker 2. Musical. Interesting. Is Joaquin gonna sing? That's what I'm most hyped for. Let's get to Nosferatu.
Yeah.
What's going on with
Yeah,
this?
so Nosferatu is going to be directed by Robert Eggers, director of Northman and The Lighthouse. Movies, weird, trippy movies that I enjoyed.
Right.
So I'm curious to see.
well.
It's got Bill Skarsgård, so it's got Pennywise playing
playing-
Nosferatu.
okay.
Yeah. And then I also believe it has Willem Dafoe, Aaron Taylor Johnson, among with a few other big cast.
Wow.
It's going to be released around Christmas this year. And I saw a little bit of a trailer for it, and I just have loved what the director's put out before. I'm curious to see what they do. It didn't make the list, but I'd like to mention, I think Bill Skarsgård might also be in a reboot of The Crow, which...
Really?
Yeah, there's not a release date for it, so that's why I didn't put it on the list. Unlike you. But...
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, but no. So again, cool cast. The visuals look cool, and I like that it's like coming out towards the end of the year. So like, I feel like we're gonna spend the whole year being like, "When's Nosferatu coming out?" What's going on?
Yeah.
And it's a vampire movie, and I mean, it seems like a classic horror movie, kind of like what the Dark Universe was trying to do with like the Mummy and all that stuff.
Right. I'm sure it'll be better than that.
Oh
though.
yeah, I can guarantee you it will be.
I mean, Robert Eggers' style just sort of lends itself. I could just see him doing, like, Nosferatu is a black and white movie. I could just see him doing, like, the Lighthouse type cinema, like, the quality of cinematography is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
The cinematography with that.
Swata.
It's the big one.
It's the big one. It's time to reveal your number one and my number one most anticipated movie of this year.
Bernardi, your number one is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Okay.
And yours is Civil War.
Yes.
Okay, so when I was looking up movies that were coming out in 2024, I kept seeing Civil War come up.
Yes.
I did not care to read into it at all.
Oh, you don't know anything about it?
Why is it your most anticipated?
Okay. So, I'm not gonna lie, I have not seen every movie by this director. He's done a lot. This is by Alex Garland. He did, like, Annihilation, which I haven't seen. He did...
You haven't seen Annihilation?
I haven't seen Annihilation. What's the other movie he did, though? Oh, he did Ex Machina, which I have seen. And that was really good. But the plot of Civil War is just fascinating to me. So it's like America is in like a dystopian civil war, basically. There's like two factions. You see in the trailer, there's like people with guns, like these military-esque people, these sort of like rogue military-esque people. And they're walking around there like, are you a real American? Like, what kind of American are you? And it's California and Texas have teamed up against the world.
Okay.
So I'm just curious.
Wait, they're not at war with each other?
No, they're together.
Wow.
So
what's the world?
What's going
to?
on? Yeah. Nick Offerman plays like the president. You know who Nick Offerman is? Ron Swanson from like Parks and Rec. So he's the president in this movie. Todd from Breaking Bad is
Jesse
in it.
Plemons,
yeah, he plays one of the Texas Californian people. And it looks crazy intense. It's an insane plot. I'm sure it's gonna ruffle some feathers when it comes out. And I just want to see what the fuck's gonna happen in this movie. So that's my pick.
And
for
that
number
is
one.
coming out April 26th of this year.
Pretty soon. Pretty soon. You picked Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Bernardi. Would you believe it if I told you I've never seen a Planet of the Apes movie?
Wait, none of them?
None of them.
You haven't seen the original? You haven't seen... Okay. Before this comes out, we're going through those.
All of them?
I mean, maybe not all the originals. There's a lot of the originals, but maybe like the new
first
trilogy.
one? Yeah.
Yeah, so recently I rewatched both the original and then the new trilogy with my girlfriend. I love these movies. I love the whole... so the first three in the series were about Caesar and his like uprising.
Yeah.
And now this is sort of following some of like what's left over after the war for the Planet of the Apes. And, you know, that series ended... not quite where the original picks up, because the original picks up it's years and years down the line, and apes have totally run society. And there, you know, it's just about this tribe, I was about to say of humanity, of apes just moving to taking over the planet. And now we're really starting to see like, okay, here it is when the apes are just, everyone's talking, and it's kind of odd.
So it's ape society now versus them taking over?
Yeah. So they're basically, you know, top of the food chain on the planet.
Humans are still around though?
Yeah, they're more docile, and I think they're actually mute. So they're more, and they become like the ape slaves.
That's
so
scary.
we should check out the originals. But I don't think this is directed. The director of those original movies, at least the last two, Dawn and War, was Matt Reeves, who did the Batman.
Right.
So this is from a different director. I think it's kind of a different cast too. So they might be taking it in a direction that may not work. Some people really like that original trilogy and don't want it to be touched because those movies were really good.
Right.
This doesn't look quite as good, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited for it. When I saw the trailer and I see the talking apes again, and just, I don't know, there's something about, I think Planet of the Apes for me might be what Godzilla is to you.
Really?
So
Okay,
I'm
that
excited.
much?
I mean, maybe not that much, but I'm excited to see where it goes. And I hope that they follow through and they'll eventually get to like recreate the original in in this new franchise.
Okay, well, like I said, I haven't seen any of them, so I can't even begin to get excited for this because I'm excited to watch the first one with you right now. This one comes out when? May
24th. Do you know the premise of Planet of the Apes?
I know the premise of the original.
Do you know the twist?
Yeah, I know the
Okay,
twist,
cool,
of course,
cool.
yeah.
So we should check those out. We'll be exploring all the movies that come out this year. I don't want to make that promise. There's a lot of movies coming out this year.
We're going to miss some.
Yeah, but we're going to explore what movies we're excited for. We're going to talk about them.
Right.
And we're going to share them with each other.
Let us know what you want us to review in the comments below.
Give us your most anticipated movies of 2024.
Right. We'll read them.
I mean, we will.
We probably will.
Yeah,
we don't get that many comments.
We're definitely going to read them. Anyways, Braden, I look forward to a new year.
Yeah.
Let's have our New Year's resolutions be
To watch more movies.
and bid it adieu.
Bid it adieu.
Wow.